And this, see, you can't do this in a documentary. You can do it in a podcast. What I'm showing you is a behavioral arc. I'm showing you a behavioral arc, a pattern of behavior. It's not a one-off. When you were young, and see, everybody's situation obviously is different, but when you were young, starting out, did you ever have to, like call up your parents and you're in your mid 20s and like, Dad, I hate to ask you this, but this happened and I don't know what to do. And could you possibly, you know, I have memories like that. I had a call like that from one of my kids, a while back. He said, Hey, this happened. And just in case, and, as it turned out, he was just fine. But and so this kind of thing happens. But you've also had family situations where it's like, well, it's been 18 months. We ain't seen him, but sure enough, within pretty soon he'll show up again and have another story. That's what this is starting to look like, y'all. 12401 Caraway Medical Center, $714, an unpaid bill, and it's a certificate of judgment against Robin R. Bullock. Okay. Then we're moving ahead. We're up into the 2002 year, 12/4/2002 is going to get a little more serious. And again, we're not trying to embarrass anybody. This is like a pattern. This is like intervention time. This would be like, hey guys, listen. I need you to come over here and we're going to sit down and talk. Listen, we some stuff needs to be fixed, okay? You're doing something that ain't right. It's time to grow up. It's time to get some stuff straight, but that doesn't seem to be happening. This is 12/4/2002, $7,600.33 from South Trust Bank. Now, folks, by this time, they are in the ministry, because Youth Force, I'm going to show you in a minute, Youth Force Ministries International was formed in 1996. But let's keep going. This is March 1st, 2007. So see this, y'all, this ain't just a one-off. The first one was 1998. And then the next one was clear up into 99, but it got filed in 2000, did we say, or 2001? I can go back and read, but I'm not. But this is March 1st, 2007 for $4,128.01. And that's to Velocity Investments. So what would that be? Like a line of credit or like a credit card or something? I don't know, but it was Robin D. Bullock had borrowed $4,100 and didn't pay it. By the way, at that time, are you taking offerings and using Luke 6:38 and Malachi 3:10? Just asking. And then, folks, this one is like, wait a second. And we're going to spend some time talking about this one in particular. I'm even going to play you some video on this one here. But when I saw this, I'm like, wait, whoa. This one is 2/21/2013. And it's a judgment against Robin D. Bullock for $237,000, $237,323.67. Now, that was, we believe, a loan on the First Church that got called by Cadence Bank when they bought out the previous bank. Now, the Bullocks have a story on that, and then there's the real story on that. But I think we pretty much have the real story figured out. But folks, this is some serious stuff. I can tell you this. If banks are getting paid and loans are current, they don't foreclose, do they? I mean, do banks just decide, well, we have a bank that's on the books and we're an extremely regulated industry and everybody involved has signed documents and we can't just do what we want, but we're going to go ahead and just get a judgment for $237,000. I don't think so. 2013 is when that happened. So, but that was big. Well, yeah, it's big. You can't. So what about something little? Okay, here's something little. October 16, 2014. It's another one of those state of Alabama Department of Revenue liens, certificate of lien for tax. This is put on your property. One of the reasons I did it this way is because now the property involved, they don't live there anymore, but just in case someone complain about it. But see, all of everything, except for with the exception of one, everything that I've read is attached to the first modest home that the Bullocks lived in. It's not your property. It's kind of a big deal. You do not want that to happen. You can't do nothing with that property until it's satisfied. And this is $662 in 2014. Does it get any better? Well, we got it together. We got it figured out. We got it all figured out. No, not exactly. No, because here's a 2015, December 8th, 2015 for $853.64. And folks, these aren't like life-changing amounts. Anyway, you make your own determination about it. And so what would you, if you were me, can I ask a question? If you were me and you were trying to finish up a documentary about these properties that were bought and you stumbled onto this information, what would you do? Ignore it? The people that I called said, what do I do? They were like, no, you don't ignore this. This needs to be talked about. I was inclined in that direction, but I could blame it on them. So I'm talking about it. This is like a pattern, folks. This is like a behavioral arc. In fact, we got a few more to go through, but kind of like this. It's a behavioral arc, financial strain, avoidance of responsibility, survival mode, short-term thinking, short-term fixes, long-term consequences, avoidance, deflection, justification, denial, deflection, excuses, delay, no accountability. And you look at the top right, I have to pattern repeated for decades. Folks, we've gone from the late 80s clear up into the 2000 teens, no transparency, no repent. Okay, so there's that. And so there's another kind of cool graphic. You start off in 1988 with that $215.30 bill that you just don't pay, and it has to go to judgment. And we're going to get to this tax lien here in just a moment. But where was the last one that we were at? The last one that I just showed you was from 2015. All right. But they're going to get it together. Now, folks, I got to ask you, were there ever things like if you ever went to your parents like for help as like in your 20s or 30s, is there ever a time where you're expected to, can I just say it, grow out of that? Just grow out? No, dude, it's time to grow up. I'm just asking the question. Well, see, the reason I ask is this is from May 13th of 2019. Wasn't that long ago. May 13th, 2019. It's a lien. It's a judgment lien. Yeah, but it was for a huge amount. No, it wasn't. It was for $657.33. And it's for lien for fire district assessment. Now, that's something they do in Alabama in lieu of I don't know. But anyway, everybody has to deal with this, including Robin D. Bullock, except Robin Bullock didn't deal with it, didn't pay it. And it was a lien as late as 2019. And folks, listen, my life, I've made every stupid mistake in the book. So it ain't the kettle calling the kettle cop, whatever, you know that one. But folks, this guy's full-time in the ministry. And I'm going to show you some things he was saying at that time. But at this, when this happens, come on, dude, you're 59 years old. You are 59 years old. And folks, I'm going to say this sooner or later. And I guess we have a few people thank you for being in the live stream. I'm going to say this. As I have gone through this, oh, folks, I have been so far down. Oh my gosh. I've been evicted. I've been like homeless for a day. I mean, like So, dude, I ain't got nothing to brag about. We will, Laura Lynn, my testimony is there. So this isn't that. This isn't that. But you know what? I wasn't in the ministry when I was doing the stupidest things in my life that I ever did. And I wasn't telling everybody, be like me. Give to me so you can be like me. No, 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 no. And then here we come to this right here. March of 2020, an IRS lien filed to cover the tax years of 2012, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 18. And they total $14,096.40. $14,096.47. I can see the fine print. That's March of 2020. That's March of going into 20. At this point, maybe it was this year. At this point, Robin Bullock is 59 years of age. Now, I'm going to play a piece of video that would have been in the documentary. And as disturbing as this is, I'm going to talk to you about some eyewitness experience and testimony that makes this even more disturbing. And I'm going to argue makes it that is even going to bolster and further the case that this is an arc of behavior that is very immature, extremely irresponsible, and just very, very, very disturbing. This piece of video, maybe it'll, if a documentary ever happens, something like this will be in there. But see, we haven't even gotten to buying properties. But what this is doing, ladies and gentlemen, is helping us understand who it is exactly that's buying all of these properties. I'm going to let this play. Here we go.
After a tense meeting tonight, the Warrior Planning and Zoning Commission votes not to recommend to the City Council the rezoning of property on Poplar Street.
As the acquisitions continued, they were often accompanied by a clear sense of purpose. Plans were described. Visions were shared. In some cases, specific outcomes were presented to both supporters and to the surrounding community. One example is the Poplar Street property.
ABC 3340's Megan Scarano was at the meeting and reports on why the community was so concerned about the use of the property and its owners.
According to witnesses, the property was intended to become a state-of-the-art hydroponics facility.
The church currently owns the land off Poplar Street. They want to turn that property into some sort of a park with walking trails, a pavilion, a lake, even greenhouses where they can sell produce. Residents, though, they have a lot of questions about this.
Many residents in Warrior can breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that for now, the property on Poplar Street will not be rezoned as agricultural. More than 70 people showed up to the meeting, and they did not hold back on their concerns for the traffic, livestock, or even the land's owners.
A town meeting was called to present the plan and build local support.
We all need to know what's going on in Warrior.
Thursday night, Moore and other residents finally got answers as to what the future looks like for the property on Poplar Street. Church International requested it to be rezoned from institution to agricultural.
Plus all this was probably bought to be a farm and is obviously not being used as a farm and is obviously, I don't know if it's helping the needy or serving the purposes of the greedy. But the meeting went unattended by the very person who had called it. And is obviously not being used as a farm. The project never moved forward. Today, the property remains undeveloped. It's just sitting there. Another commonly stated vision involved the buildings in downtown Warrior. The idea was to renovate these properties and offer them at below market rental rates, an effort to attract businesses and stimulate local economic activity. It was a compelling idea, but years later, those renovations have not materialized. The properties remain largely unchanged. At the time these purchases were happening, there was also visible concern from some members of the local community. Local news coverage captured questions about the scale and purpose of the acquisitions.
It's scary and it's overwhelming that a organization could have that much power in our city, that they are able just to come in and do as they please and purchase property.
Warrior community
After a tense morning tonight, the Warrior planning and zoning.
Though that coverage has largely faded, it remains part of the historical record. And when viewed together, these examples begin to form a pattern, not just of acquisition, but of expectation. What was proposed, what was anticipated, and what ultimately came to pass or didn't come to pass, because these weren't just transactions. They were presented with purpose, and for many who supported this movement, that purpose mattered.
Basically, the bottom line is this: I love God with all of my heart, mind, and soul. And most people that were there did too. But I was steeped in solid truth, and I was still bamboozled.
It shaped understanding. It influenced decisions.
We felt a call, and we got into peace and agreement about doing what we did. And that was our goal, was to help them get their ministry going and to help other people, because at the time, lots of people were coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it determined where people would go.
The invitation that was given on YouTube was essentially this. He was saying, if you find that you have a kindred spirit with what I'm sharing with you and with what I do, what I think, come.
She took a 3-day bus trip.
What they would do and what they believed they were helping to build.
There's just an amazing line out the door. And you meet all these people from all over the world. It can be Canada, it could be Florida, it could be a lot of California people.
So the question becomes more defined. Not just what was purchased, but what was supposed to happen and what didn't. Now, this scene, y'all, is kind of funny. See that where it says bridge out, maybe I can back this up just a tiny bit. So the GPS doesn't always know that a bridge doesn't exist anymore. And so that airstrip property that you saw in the first video, it's actually like you're looking straight ahead and you see that road there. Well, it's down the road to the right just a little bit at the bottom of the hill, but there's a river right there that you don't jump over. So that was kind of interesting. So we did the homework. We did the work on the ground. We really, really did. So y'all, I'm going to move into, so that was just kind of a teaser. All right. We're going to talk about property acquisitions in a little bit, but we're not quite yet. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask you to think about an arc of behavior. I want you to think, if these were your kids and you were, in your 50s, like when they get started, late 40s, whatever. And then they're in their 20s and like this first couple of things happen. You're like, hey guys, come on, man, get it together. But how would you really be feeling if like you're into your late 30s, your 40s, dude, you're 59 and the same stuff is going on that was going on when you were in your I see. I'm gonna use a word, and I'm not saying it for shock value. As I've looked at this, I've realized, my goodness, Robin Bullock is a boy man. He's a boy man. I'm serious. Amanda, I'm serious. Steve, I'm serious. Fly over. You guys have been treating somebody like they're Taj Mahal. I mean, this is a boy man. This is a kid that has never grown. And I'm going to ask a question here, and then I'm going to give you some stuff here. If anybody can give me evidence, I would love to see it. Has Robin Bullock ever worked a job? Ever? Let me ask that about you. Have you ever worked a job? Have you ever worked a job that you really didn't like, but you had to work it? Did you ever work maybe an extra job because you had responsibilities and you needed to do it? Did you ever have to work more hours or just do stuff because maybe you took on too much of a liability, but you still had to pay it? So you had to. You ever do it? Can anybody ever show any of that component? I'm going to call it a night. My wife has been so sweet and so precious. I told her, I said, this is going to be a different kind of day and a different kind of night. But email us at ohioforfreedom@gmail.com. You can call us at 513-620-5754. I have some people that are wanting me to get in touch with them. I will. If you're in the Netherlands, I'll get with you. Have some patience. It takes a while and there's stuff going on. But we get with people, so don't freak out. But if you have any light to shed, and hey, Robin, hey, Amber, hey, Krista, hey, Austin, hey, Robbie, if I got something wrong and you can send me the documentation to prove where I got it wrong, I'll happily read it on the air. I will be glad to do that. And so, folks, if you would like to support us, you can certainly go to ohioforfreedom.com. On our website, we've got a great PayPal link. We've got a bank card link. You can use any card that you normally use when you do anything online. It's very much appreciated. We have a Zelle link there, and our P.O. Box is 344 Mason, Ohio, 45040. Folks, this has been a long program. I haven't done one of these long ones in a long, long time. And some of y'all have hung with me the entire time, and it is appreciated. So until next time, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the state of Ohio. You can tell my voice getting a little. God bless the United States of America, and we send our blessings and our greetings to all our friends around the world. Good night, y'all.
I hear the sweet sound of freedom, and I won't be long.